everyone? Thursday night. I am fumbling through things because I thought I knew where the item was that I wanted to show you. And of course, you think I can find it? There. Gosh. How is everyone? I hope you're doing well. We are expecting a ton of snow tomorrow and like wind chills of -10. Working on wallpaper? Yes. Yeah, you guys, yeah, the same sort storm system. We're supposed to have negative wind chills in the morning and snow start. And the beginning of the week, we weren't getting anything. And now we're up to 4 to 8 inches of snow. So you never know what's going to happen, though. They can forecast all they want. And until it happens, you don't know. Well, I hope you do not get the ice. Ice is so much worse to me than snow. Well, let's see here. All right, well, let's get rolling. First of all, I pinned flash sales that I have running for the Creative Memories cardstock from the 1990s. I've set them at 50% off. You guys are going to have to tell me if they're running. Oh, start flash sale. Okay, I see the start flash sale. Let me get them started. I pinned it so I wouldn't forget to mention it. So this is Creative Memories single-sided cardstock that I bought back in the 90s. And it's not moving. So I thought, let's do a flash sale and see if anyone would like some of it. This is the second time I've tried to do flash sales. And I thought if you set them up as flash sales, they'd pop up, when you start the show, but they don't. They, you have to go in and do each darn one. I'm just about done, and then we're going to look at some French checks. If you're new to me, my name is Pam, like what's in the user ID. I started buying French about, I don't know, 8 months ago. Some here locally in the US, but a lot from France. So I am now, after the tariffs, that's what I was going to say. After the tariffs, I slowed down a bit buying from France. And so my thought was, well, what if I scan these things? And if we're a junk journaler, which I am, we can have these beautiful images, but not have to pay the price of an actual French piece. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the authentic French, but I just don't think it will, we'd get our money back putting it in a junk journal. That's kind of been my thought process. So here's what I did with the first set of checks. Yeah, I scanned, I have, good God, I think 200 checks in my possession, and I have more coming. And I scanned them, the fronts and the backs, and I cut them out and glued the two pieces together. And so we've got a nice, sturdy check piece here. I love these where so much comes through on the that you can see through the front and the back. Thank you, whoever's doing the purchasing. I appreciate it greatly. I need to get rid of that stack. So here are the ones that I printed or that I cut out and glued together. And I used a glue stick so that it would, have a really nice, good stick. So that's the first option. And then I came up with other options. So let's run these. We'll do 10 seconds. And you'll get all 5 of these if you would like some scanned French checks. All right. Now, the next thing I did, first of all, I want to show you this. I had not seen most of these checks, like the ones I just showed you. Well, this one's 1899, but most of them are early 1900s, right? And the last batch of checks that I did get, it looked like this. This is the front. Oh, this part. And I thought, well, that's not real decorative. And then I looked at the dates, and these are in the 1800s. And I just thought that was pretty unique. So, Brian knows, he saw them the first time I showed him. I was going to flip through all these pages and have you guys pick the ones you wanted. And I decided that was going to take too long. So I divvied them up into sets. Let's see, French checks the fronts and the back. And this is what this is. So, what you would do is then cut them out and glue them together like I pushing up daisies. Thank you so much. I'm seeing your name pop up a lot. Um, and what you would do is cut them out and then glue them together, and you'd have your checks. So this pack has these. And when I sorted them out, I tried to pay close attention. Well, I did sort color, and then I made sure everybody had stamps on their checks, as many as possible. Look at this color. And look, the line between the two, oh, you can see where that one has a little bit of a tear. But look at that white line. That's all you have for cutting this one apart. That's how big this one is. Isn't that crazy? And so here's one with a pretty header on it. Beautiful blue stamps. Did I say there's 10? And so this is the front and the back of the checks. So you cut them out, line them up, and glue them together. Now, these are done by me, the scanning and the cropping, so they may not be precise, but line up the lettering. With these that you can see through, it's real easy to line it up and get all your lining or your wording lined up, and then glue them together. And then you might have to do a little trimming. That's what I had to do anyway, because I have not figured out how to print these front and back. There's just too much variation with all of the writing and everything. Okay, so let's start this one. And it's a running. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right. This might look similar, but it's not the same. None of the packs will have the same two checks in them. I made sure of that. Getting yours back in a bag so I can get your name on there. But I did put one of the 1800 checks in each one because I just thought that was unique to have some that old and a different look. Thank you again. All right. So this one has, we still have our stamp up here. We've got some red writing. Where is the date in all of that mess? I don't even see it. Here we've got, look at this beautiful green. This is a big one too. You can see there's not much space between the two pieces. Here is a gray with blue and red stamps. This image is pretty. I love the image on most of these darn checks. They're just really pretty. This is a bright orangey brown. This has a really pretty blue. And this one, I went through and I pulled the ones that were lighter. So I put those on first, and then I just progressed in shades. All right, let's run this one, see if anyone wants that one. I am always open to requests. So if you see anything that you'd like me to show, please let me know. Welcome in, everyone. Pushing up daisies, you bet. It's a go one. This one is the one that has the real pretty green check in it. You didn't hit fast enough. Well, now that I'm seeing Pushing Up Daisies, I believe you have a lot to do with raid trains, or at least you have. I think I joined one of yours. I'm in my first raid train tomorrow, but the past couple days I have signed up for 3 or 4 more. And I'm just pretty darn excited because I haven't done them before. I'm on for an hour in the morning on one, so we'll see how that all goes. Maybe that's it. I was thinking you were the host of one that I saw. I don't know. I looked at so many, I'm kind of cross eyed right now. Okay, here is the next one. 1877. When I got these, I thought, she didn't send me checks. And I got to looking closer and I'm like, oh my gosh, it is a check. And look at the date. And I knew that the date with the fancier, oh, this isn't the right. Well, let's just look at this one. Okay, the other option for checks that I did is I printed two check fronts on one page. So these are both check fronts. Look at the stamps and things on here. It's just okay. And then we have a green and a real pretty, like burnt orange with a brown stamp. Here's a couple lighter ones with all their pretties. Look at that blue stamp. We've got this, and look at that one. I thought that was unique. And then the last page is this set. So these are check fronts. So you get 10 check fronts and the backs are blank. So what that means is if you want to, yes, I have scanned book covers, yes. So that means if you want to print something on the backside, to coordinate with whatever you're making, that um, would be your option. We're going to start the check fronts. They start at 5. I will show the scanned book covers next. Okay. If anybody wants the front and back checks, let me know and we can come back to them. Okay, book covers. Where are you? I have the actual book covers. I own these books still. I'm getting ready to sell some of them. And I have scanned the book covers. Trying to get this where you guys can see it better. This one happens to be my favorite because I love blue, and that's kind of a golden color. Oh, look at the I always like to show this. This is the difference in the type of paper that you use. Printing on a non-presentation matte type paper. This is a linen, but look at the difference. Okay, so that first one, I've got them numbered. We got number 1. Here's number 2. And you can see, the spine area where you'd score and use these. If you're wanting to use, I'm imagining, a junk journal cover. So there's number 2. Number 3 has more light blue. And in the corners, you've got some little red flowers and these, oh my gosh, what are those called? Cameos on there. We'll see how this is going to work. That's 3. This is number 4, a really pretty darker green and more like a bronzy color. Then there is this lighter green one with more golden. And then there is this one. This is a navy blue with the golden. And then I have two pink ones. Look at this. This is a cover of one of my favorite type of French books. And then we have this little cutie. We have a frame on the front. You got your spine. You got a little bit of oops on the back. But I'm thinking that just kind of makes them funner. Okay, let's see if I can show them again closer if you guys need me to. But I believe I have a choice of two. Covers, pick two, yes. $1 each. There's nothing on the other side of them. So you pick 2 out of the 8. I'm going to start it. Oop, I don't think I have the right thing pinned. I didn't pin it correctly. Okay, there we go. So pick 2, starting at 2. There we go. I have these, and then I have Thank You, Pushing Up Daisies. Which 2 would you like? 1 and 8. You got it. I'll run it again. Thank you. Franklin. I'll just say Franklin. Hello, and which 2 would you like? 3 and 4. I am going to sell these books fairly soon. I've actually have them in an auction that I have set up for books. But if anyone's interested in the actual books, I can sure pull them and show you. All right, we're going to run it again. Thank you, Franklin. Congratulations, Pushing Up Daisies. Which 2 would you like? 5 and 7? Did you do the question mark just so it would highlight? 7 is this one. Okay, okay. 5 and 7. We'll run again. Well, I got them all laying out here. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, and then the other thing I did was scan uh, French document covers, and I've got them in quite a few different colors. And if you're a junk journaler, they're perfect for folding them in half like this to make a junk journal. I printed them at actual size instead of fit to page, because Fit to Page was cutting off some of the top and bottom parts, and I didn't like that. So that's why you have more white possibly on the sides. Oh, this is the best part. Well, not the best part, but a good part. I've then printed, because they were a document, most of them, I have a copy, I scanned a copy of one of the pages inside of the document. Gosh, did I say that right? Okay, so here it is. You'd open it up and you'd have this on the front and this on the back. So there's number 5. Let's start. See what I got, what order I've got these in. Oh man, I got 11, 12. I got quite a few. Let's do, okay, here's number 1. This is a really pretty green. It's it's greener than what's coming through on the camera. And it has this on the back. So that's number 1. Number 2, for whatever reason, I really like this one. I guess just because it looks like an old document, right? Well, it is an old document, isn't it? And on the back is a piece from, actually from it. So that's number 2. Oh, come here, guys. Yeah, this isn't going to work as well, is it? 1, 2, 3 is a pretty pink, and it actually has marriage on the front. Marriage, Unite, Charles, and I'm not sure what her name is. And then you've got this on the back, a real light pink. That's number 3. Number 4 is a very pretty blue with this on the back. There's 5. And number 6 is this beautiful brown. It's really pretty. And you can see the grain lines, from the actual document and that beautiful edging. And there's the back of that one. Okay, we'll run these. I'll run these 6 to see if anyone is interested. These are $2 each since I printed on both sides. And you can pick 2. Well, I say on here pick 2 from 12, so maybe I need to show the rest of them. Let's see what we got here. Here's number 7. It's a lighter brown and has this with a gorgeous blue stamp down here. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but I'll figure it out. 8 is one of my favorites also, just because it has that beautiful grungy look to it. I just really like that. And that's 1906. And it has this on the back. Look how this, when I scanned this, I made sure I had it straight, and it was. They just happened to write like in a loop. This is not the actual page from this one. And with these, you can kind of tell because you don't see the extra color on the sides. But this document was from 1841. And look at the seals and the stamps on there. And that beautiful. Ugh, that's 8. 9 is kind of a pinkish rose type color. And it has this on the back. That is from that document. I don't know why that has come out so much browner than the actual document. 10 is a bright pink. Welcome in, everyone. And this is a page from a different document, but I just thought it was a beautiful piece of documentation. 11 is a more solid blue because this one has a little more like pattern in it. This is a beautiful solid blue. And I kept all of this just because that's what the real document, looked like. 1873. And this is from that. Well, I thought it was, but up here it says 1840. So I don't know. Just beautiful wording and fonts. Okay, the last one is this one. It is 1845, maybe. And then this is on the opposite side. Here's another one that's kind of scoopy when they're writing. I just heard the other day when you see all of this their writing is usually so straight. They called them cheater sheets, and they'd put a piece of paper underneath what they're writing on to make their lines so perfectly straight. Look at all that pretty stuff in the corner. All right, so let me see. I'm going to run this, and you get to pick two. Whoop. And so I will get these lined up so you can be reminded. These are on 47 pounds paper so that, oh, there we go. How to do that. All right. Then on a nice sturdy cardstock, which would be awesome for a tall, skinny journal. Okay, what am I going to show you next? I have scanned and printed 35 French invoices. Find it. Maybe I don't have. Okay, so 35 French invoices. And I'll show you what I've done because I know 35 is a lot, if somebody may not want that many. So I broke them down into a set of 20 and then a set of 15. So let me show you the set of 20 real quick. These are, look at that. Oh, it has Paris right there. 1899. Oh, and you're lying down here. These are something else that are so beautiful. Here's one that's going horizontal instead of vertical. I'm going kind of fast because there's a bunch of them. If you need me to slow down, you just tell me. Here's some beautiful coins up here. Look at this. 1888. Hmm. Here we have a pretty blue. Another blue. A pretty green. On any of the scans, if you see some black areas like that, that's just where the document was chipped. So you could tear that. This is a beautiful blue. Gorgeous. Here's another horizontal one. So all you would do is tear it, which a lot of people like the torn look. So just do that to clean them up a little bit. But I didn't want to cut the whole, you know, when I was cropping these, I didn't want to cut off the whole section just, for a little black spot. This one, I found out, is German. But this is a freebie for every pack because it's red and it's beautiful. And I happen to love red. Look at that. But it's free. It's included. Okay, so here's the 20 pack. Look. Okay, so I've got an option of getting all 35, which are the same that I broke out into one pack of 20 and one pack of 15. So it doesn't matter which way you buy, unless you buy like two 20s, you'll get double those. I hope that makes sense. All right, so let's pull up, and it's the same price no matter which way you buy them. We'll pin the 20 and I'll get it started right now. All right, thank you for looking. Treasure Merchant. How do I know that name? Oh, I bought from you last Saturday, didn't I? Yes, hi. Welcome everyone. I just got your first package today of the printed ladies. Yes, I love them. And I'm hoping my bigger purchases are coming tomorrow. All right. And here is the pack of 15. I'll just show quickly. This one's blank, in the writing, but I couldn't pass up this up here. Wouldn't that just be beautiful if we just used that, on a junk journal page? I thought this one was unique because it has this part down at the bottom. Here we've got an old sewing machine and a bicycle. And this is a beautiful color. $18.95. A real pretty pink one. Nice bright pink. And then this one is a light green with, look at all the different writing. And then you've got all of this fun stuff over here too. This is a light blue, a medium blue, a gorgeous rusty red. This invoice actually split in half, and I did the best I could to line it all up. We've got gorgeous words and letters over here, and this windmill with a horse. This one has a lot of blue. That's kind of a really light bluey gray, beautiful dark green, and then your freebie. All of them are French except for this one that is German. Did I say Greek earlier? German is what I meant. So you get 16 pages because that last one is included for free. And we'll get it started. See if anybody would like to start out with 5. And if you're just joining me, if you're an old creative memories person, I have a bunch of the 8.5 by 11 single sided in my buy now, and I have it on a flash sale for 50% off of what I had it listed. It was already, a good price, but it wasn't moving, so I put them all on flash sale. Okay. Let's look at, whoop, my computer's going crazy. Let's look at French letters that I scanned and printed on antique typing paper, typewriter paper. So this is how they came. They've got that wonderful crinkle sound that most of us love. So here you go. This is what would have been scanned. On the other side, many times it was either an actual letter or it was an invoice, is what I'm finding. Now, I printed just the letter front part because I didn't know if it would come through too much, on the typing paper. So I just did the front and then folded them up. And what is so neat about this is they all have a way to tuck in, and that's how they mailed them. This was before envelopes. If any of you have watched Poldark, which I'm sure it was on a lot of those older movies, but I just didn't pay close attention, um, you saw them open up a lot of letters like this. So I have got, see this one, you can see the words of the letter through it. I love that look. And then we've got this one. And what I did with these packs is I took the same letters that are full size and I shrunk them down and made little ones, little baby ones. And they fold and everything, just like the big ones. And I just think they're adorable, especially to put, if you're a junk journal person, like I keep saying, to tuck those in some pockets or, flap things that we put in there. I just think they would be a fun addition. All right. Whoop. I had it pinned. There we go. And they're running. Gina, hi. I caught you a little bit on YouTube Tuesday night, but not as long as I wanted. And if you're just joining, I am always welcome to um, request. I'm also always welcome to sharing if you're a seller. Oh, treasure merchant. You got him. I didn't see. Somehow I missed that. All right. Perfect. These are coming to you. Thank you. Yeah, my show Monday was slow. Maybe it's just kind of that time of the month or something. Well, it didn't sound good. Time of the month. Here's one that's a really pretty light blue. And if you guys don't know Gina, you have got to follow her. She has amazing French and American ledgers, papers, checks. She's one of the first, I think you might have been the first person I bought French from. And my gosh, I think I find something I love every time I go to her shows. And I try to go to most of them. Gina, I'm going to be in my first raid train tomorrow. And in the last couple days, I've signed up for 3 or 4 more. So I'm kind of excited. There's This is a new one that well, the one I'm really excited about is Build a Journal Raid Train. I'm in that in February. But tomorrow is French Love and Lavender. That's the one I'm in tomorrow. And then this is a newer one, I believe, The Great D Stash Dash. And then the other one I'm pretty excited about is it's called Marie Craftonette, like Marie Antoinette. So I'm gonna dip my toes in raid trains and see how it goes. Okay, I'll start these 5. These are printed on antique typewriter paper. So you've got all the wonderful crunchy, crinkly noises. That's what I was kind of thinking, Gina. Let's see. Edwaranda? That doesn't, I'm sure I'm not saying that right. But thank you so much. I have another one just like that pack. So hopefully you guys, when you take them, if you pull them apart, you can figure out how to fold them back. I have folded enough of them, I'm actually starting to figure it out quicker. Some of them can be quite the challenge. Oh, thank you, Gina. Okay, so this is the same one. We've got the light blue, a medium blue, a beautiful green, and then these 2 little baby ones. And I'll run it now. Actually, no. Thank you. That is fabric, and it is from Tim Holtz. Let me see if I can find where it tells me. It is called Photo Card. Tim Holtz. I'm looking at the site here. Eclectic Elements, Tim Holtz photo card, and the number is PWTH013. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I even came across it. But when I first started on Whatnot, it was when I very first started, it was cabinet cards that grabbed my attention. And somehow I came across this fabric and I thought, well, I think I need some of that. I have some built in boxes that I made that are behind the fabric, but I just thought that fabric was prettier. Okay, here's your last option on the different letters. This one, and then these are the two little ones. And I'll run those, see if anybody would like that set. I know I hadn't seen it before. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. I I have quite a few. Then about French ones too. And I'm trying to figure out something fun to do with them crafty wise, you know? And it hasn't quite clicked yet. Well, I didn't use this piece, but this is another for Christmas. I had this. And that's also Tim Holtz. And then you've probably seen this one. This is Tim Holtz. It's a Christmas. Well, I use this through the month of December. I, I just love this red one. I'm debating on getting my piece and putting it back up there. But I get a lot of compliments on the cabinet card. Old French papers, um, like invoices. I have a bunch. I have invoices, and then I have a set that is some ledgers. Yep, these are copies. Then I have a set that are ledgers and um, share sheets and stock sheets that actually probably all came from Gina. Let me find the other half of the invoices. Where did I put them? I have also scanned a lot of checks. If you're interested in French checks. Yeah, exactly, Gina. I just had them. Well, let me show you this. I've scanned and printed 35 different French invoices. And I'm giving everyone three options. You can buy all 35 for 35. They're $1 a page. Or if you want 20, this set is 20 pages for 20. And then I have a set, which is the other part of the 35. It's 15 of them for $15. So here's the first one. It was, they're just such beautiful invoices. I love this one. Did I get this one from you, Gina? I can't remember. It's a newer one. 18.99. Look at that. And like Gina always says, look at all the beautiful fonts, and this one even has some reds in it, for colors. I love these. Well, then, needless to say, the all of the words that are so beautifully written out. You've got this one with a bunch of, looks like draperies, huh? I see, I see this. I'm saying that's tissue, but I don't know if it is. But I see those two words quite a bit. Yeah, I understand. Well, I've said it many times, and this is just my opinion. I If you used these in a junk journal and you use the originals, I just don't know how we would get our money back, because I don't know, although Gina's one journal sold for a really good price and it was so beautiful, and she used originals. But at least with these, we can cut it into them and not feel so, you know, pain of the price. I bought a lot of originals in 2025. I just haven't. Okay. You typically don't, Gina? Look at this beautiful color. 1888. And we've got a blue and another blue. Look at this pretty green. 1884. We've got an anchor and a ship. I just noticed. This is my favorite shade of blue of all these. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. 1874. Here's a horse. Couple horses. Okay. I tried to, when I split the 35, I tried to, you know, have some good color in both in case somebody didn't want all 35. Although I had several buy them last week. This one I found out is German. It's one of my favorite, but it has seen better times. But I'm including it for free in each pack. I just think all of this beauty up here would be so fun to add. Everything else is French except my red one that I'm adding. All right. Yes, all 35 are different. Trying to figure out where the heck my pile of 15 went. Yeah, because all 35 are different. I just had them and showed them. How does that happen? Would you like all 35 of them? Oh, they're right here. Duh. Okay. I stuck them in a safe place. Yes, that's possible. Let me get it pulled up and I'll show you the other 15. while this runs. I'm going to keep these separate just so I know. Oh, really? Even the single-sided, Gina? Because there isn't anything on the back of them. And these take a while to print because I love this one because of this, even though, all this is empty. But you can still do so much with that blank area. Yeah, these take a while to print because I do the high quality print because that's what I'd want. So that's what I do. Look at this bright pink one. Yeah, I know. It uses, and these are on the paper Gina uses, and it's smooth as butter. I love this paper. Oh, you want me to run it again? Okay, there you go. That's for all 35. Look at that beautiful blue. This is a beautiful bluish gray. Look at that windmill. I tried to pick the fanciest ones. And I got a new batch of invoices in, and there's another red one. With the 35, you'll get one red one. Well, I may just throw in one for you. Thank you so much. All right. Let me make myself a note. I think I have a full set printed, but of course it's not popping up when you want it. I know, I've often wondered, how do you figure out? You can figure out what a piece of paper costs, but how do you figure out how much ink you use, for something like this? So I just went with $1 for now. Okay. Is there anyone that's interested in the authentic French? If not, I'll show you what else I've got. Okay, so here are some packs of the fronts, and some of the fronts could be the same as the antique typewriter ones, but these are printed on 45 pound paper, so a nice weight, and I printed on the back side. Now, because I had to lay out the envelopes how I did to print, some of the images might be, you know, not exactly correct as far as, the direction they're going. But I tried to pick prints that, would kind of go well either way. So there are 10 of these. All these different little envelopes. That's one of my favorite digitals. This, in case anyone here doesn't know, if you see black around, I don't know about other countries, but for sure France, if you see the black, that is a morning letter or notification. And then we've got this. And let me pull them up. In the 10 months or so I've been on Whatnot, I cannot get in the habit of pinning before I start talking about something, and I don't know why. Welcome in, everyone. Come here. Why now? I don't even know where. I can't find them. I've also got another option with a bunch of envelopes that I've printed and then you can cut out. I'll put those up there for now. We'll look at them. I just wanted you to know there's a couple options. All right. Why can I not find the... Let's see. Those are... I guess sometimes I forget how in the heck I worded something when I put them in. You'll see some of my posts have numbers started on them. I'm going to end up doing that. And then put the number on the package so I know how to pull it up quicker. And I can sometimes find things quicker on my laptop than on my phone. Weird. So this should be envelope, I think. Envelope. Come on, come up. Here we go. Total of 10 scanned envelope fronts. It's in there. I just have to find it. There it is, finally. Okay, we'll get it started. So, these are, I've cut them out. They're printed on the back side. Good little tuck things to put in. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you are liking this stuff. Is your name Rhonda by chance? My pen is pooping out on me. Okay, I'll show this one. Goodness sakes. I just saw this print. So, oh my gosh, I need to find that again. That's pretty. I have my digitals, in by who I buy it from. And I try to put notes, if it's Christmas or this or that. But to go back and try to find something like that. Oh, oh, excuse me. Dang. I think it's the dry air of winter. Dang. Sorry about that. Yes. Yes. I'm okay. Thank you. Oh, this, I just, I do deal with this in the winter. And sometimes just all of a sudden it takes hold and can't stop coughing. Okay, let's get rolling. Here's this one. Look how little these are. That's pretty. I didn't look at these close. I cut them out and packed them up, and look at that one. That's even pretty. And then this one with that. Yeah, like that. All right. So let's see what I do. We've got, and these are everything I scan, I own. I don't, or have owned. I may have sold it, but everything I scan is something I've had. I don't buy, like digitals on Etsy and sell them because that's not cool. All right, these 10 are running. Thank you, thank you. I was printing off papers today. I'm going to make some. I keep wanting to call them mood boards, but that's not what they are. I don't think. Can't think of the other word. And I'm hoping some of these pretties that I saw on the back of here are ones I picked. Thank you so much. You're going to love those. Well, the last style, whew, we're supposed to be in negative wind chills by the morning. Here is the last. Maybe some of these are the same. I don't think they are. I'll go ahead and show them since I started. But that might be a different blue, actually. That's a deeper blue. It's so hard to tell sometimes because what I found on some of these, like this one, the coloring is the same and the writing, but they weren't identical. No, it isn't. And they're different because I have three different checks envelopes that look like this on the front. And it took me a while, but all of these that are this color are different too. Oh, come on, throat. Okay, they're running. The ones on, let's see, I did not print on the back of those. So that would be something. Yeah, they're blank, but that would be, I just thought of that. That'd be awesome. If you're working in a particular, using a particular digital or something, you could print these yourself too on the back. There are 36 envelopes here. Some of them will look familiar because or some of them, like we just saw those two and these beautiful blue ones, but there are some extra additional ones. But none of these are duplicates. Look at all the beautiful blue stamps. I had to include the morning one and the back of the envelope because you can see the black um, seal that was used. Actually, I bought this envelope from Gina. This is one of my favorites with that coloring. And then look at all these blues. That's a purple, but it kind of came out pink. And then all those had 5, and I was able to squeeze 6 on this page. And I tried to line them all up so it wouldn't be too difficult for cutting. But yeah, you can, and this is a lighter weight paper. This is 32 pound. And the other cards that I cut out, the envelopes were a 47 pound. All right. Come here, envelopes. Get that started. So it starts at 7 for 6 pages or 7 pages. Yeah. And for a total of 30 or 36 envelopes. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. But yeah, that would be perfect to. Do you use digitals, Rhonda? I still like, the hard copy printed paper, but I've really gotten into digital the last 4 or 5 years. Oh my gosh, I'm having a time getting my throat to settle down. I am so sorry. Thank you, thank you. All right. Oh, yeah. Amity blue. I need to look at that. Okay, have you been here when I showed when I showed these mini envelopes? Now, these are from a gal on Etsy, and I got her approval to shrink these and sell them. these are what these are. Oh, so these are what I'm about to show you. The little envelope. I've added the bulb pin and the little crystal. She takes old. Oh, how do you find those? I need to know. So these are, once again, French envelopes that have been, cut open. And what I did was shrunk them down to 9 to a page. And then on the back side, I added cute prints so that when you open up the little envelope, you see the little print down inside. Plus, there's little letters that you put inside. So that's the first page. Here's the second page. Whoop. You aren't going to use most of that. You're just going to use what's the envelope is, on the other side. So there actually would be little strips to play with. Look how little, long and skinny. And look at this tiny one. Oh, I didn't show you the back. This is vintage antique French textile pages. And then this one has some pretty pinks. Old books, like rag paper old books, because I've got a bunch of those. So then, so you cut out each little envelope, you fold it in half, and glue the sides. I just use a little bit of art glitter glue right here on the sides. And then when I glue it, I kind of do this to make it more of like, a pouchy feel or look so that you can get the little note in and out. So these are the backside of the little notes that would go inside. And these are all French invoices. So you'd fold those in half and they would go in your little envelopes. And I've got Christmas ones too. I call them Christmas because the one envelope that had a 25 on it, which is in this regular pack too. I just printed all of those little 25s and I inked them red and green and made little Christmas ones. I had fun with them. And I'll get them started now in case anyone would like some of those. Yeah, I was real pleased when I bought these little crystals. They're fake ones. They're not the real chandelier crystals. These aren't. The bigger ones I have are. When I found they'd fit on the bulb pin, I was excited. Did I start the auction or did I just pin it? I'm going to run it. I can't remember. There we go. So those are fun if you like little mini things. Yeah. French rag paper books are my favorite. Is there anything anyone? Oh, that you want me to show you? Let me know. And then Rhonda, where do you find these Amity Bloom things? You said she takes old wallpapers and hankies and scans them. Does she have an Etsy? I'm curious now. Okay. Well, the other thing that I have been doing is making these cute little die cuts. I bought the actual fashion plates from France and I scanned them, and so I've got the 8.5 by 11 sheets. If you're interested, if anyone's interested in seeing all the ladies printed out in 8.5 by 11. Oh, that is not going to work. Well, actually, I still have some of the prints in my Buy It Now for sale. But I think there were 23 of them from France. And I'm going to do that so you don't have as much glare. And I'm going to pull out. So I scanned them and then I printed them 8.5 by 11. And there's 24, I think. And then I removed the backgrounds and made these little 6-inch dolls or die cuts or whatever you want to call them. And there are 22. This is a full set of all of them. And then I split them up into 3 packs. If somebody didn't want that many. No, Rhonda, I used my cutting machine. I had to get that all set up, correctly and working and cutting in the right. Look at these. What I loved about these is I got quite a few. There's 5 or 6 of them that can't talk, in outerwear. Isn't that pretty? So like this one, this mink, I'm guessing. And there's a beautiful red. Here's a green. No, I do not like fussy cutting because I cannot do a good job at it. They say not to move your scissors, to move the paper, but I just can't get it to look right. Look at that. And it's so cool because some of them I could actually, keep the canes, and some of them you can't. Well, it's not all the whole eyeglass, but she would have had, I think that's an eyeglass like this one. That one's a pretty red. Yeah, these took a while. The biggest challenge for me was figuring out how to remove the background. That was quite the challenge. This is one of my favorites. And I'm not a black clothing person, but I like that one. Look at that. That's my favorite. That and the mink one are my favorite outerwear ones. But I had several ladies at Christmas buy the actual prints at, in December, and they framed them. And I know for sure one was giving two of them to her mom for Christmas. Another lady framed one, and oh my gosh, sent me a picture, and it's beautiful. Let's see, we want. Okay, so I'll run this. This will be for all of them, the ones that I just showed you. So you get all of these ladies, and we'll get it started now. And if you, oh, thank you. And these are cut on heavy paper too, like a 47 or 50 pound paper. So they're nice and sturdy, as far as being able to. Do you junk journal, Rhonda? I know the wastes are crazy, aren't they? Well, the corsets and everything they had to wear. Karis Penny Pickpockets, welcome. Welcome. If I haven't said welcome, I definitely mean to. We are looking at some. These were original, authentic French fashion plates. Well, let me show you one. I have it right here. Look at this. Painted fashion plates. And you can see, in here where it was painted. They're, I think, 17 by 14. And they have beautiful, all of this, even this light stuff in the background is so pretty. But look at that dress. So I bought these. I took them, scanned them, and turned them into the 8.5 by 11. So I've got one of every in the 8.5 by 11 pack. Then I removed backgrounds and made all of these pretty 6-inch dolls or die cuts or whatever you want to call them. I need to get a different pen. I'm leaving the lid off, and now it fell off. Oh, I think my throat is better. I think the dryness went away. So yeah, I did that a few months back, and I showed these week and a half ago, and the ladies that were there really liked them, so I made some more. I will run one more set just in case someone's interested. I sell primarily French stuff. I do have other items, but primarily French. I bought a lot of authentic French, documents and invoices and all of that. And after the tariffs, I haven't bought quite as much new and decided to do a lot of scanning of it so that, especially for those that junk journal and scrapbook, we could have, items at a lower cost, but yet have the beautiful imagery from the French paperwork. All right, I'll go ahead and run those ladies. 8.5 by 11. There are 23 different ladies. And I printed these on I think it's 24-pound linen paper. just so beautiful. The backs, even the backgrounds, besides, all the women and their clothing is gorgeous. But the backgrounds are so neat too. I always love requests. If you guys see anything you want me to show you. And this was the front page, and you can see how much more patina and how much darker it is. And if you guys are sellers, I have no problem with you telling us about yourself and sharing that. That blue is gorgeous. Just about through them. Yeah, it's just pretty. I can't imagine having to dress like this every day, you know? Man, that'd be a lot of work. Nothing like my sweats and t-shirts that I wear every day. I've done a variety of art, fabric, and paper forms. Started junk journaling 3 years ago and fell in love with it. Yeah, that's about the time I I did. For years, I made mini scrapbooks. You can see some in my bin if you're curious what they are. That's what I've been doing for a very long time. And then I just kind of really fell in love with junk journaling. And then when I fell in love with French, I'm like, oh my gosh, what could go better than the French and all that? Let's see. I'm thumbing through my stuff to see what else I've got. You know, the book covers that we looked at that I scanned. Um, I had scanned quite a few other books, and I saw Tim Holtz. This is what started it. Tim Holtz and Simon Says Stamp had an October show on YouTube that was under Simon Says Stamp. And he was showing how he makes the mini little books. Because in some of his packs, there are book covers. So I scanned all of my book covers. These are mine. I just realized, oh my gosh, there's two of the same one. I just realized that after all this time. Anyway, I scanned them all and decided to see how little mini books would turn out. Well, when I first did it, I couldn't figure out how to get the marble paper to match up on the backside. But guess what? Then I did. They're not, exact for each one, but this beautiful brown marble. Yes, that's the crazy thing. You can just keep going and going and going with them. So I did get this beautiful brown because I wanted it smaller since the books are smaller, but I wanted it to kind of line up so that we could have that on the inside of our little um, books. So in these first packs, you're going to get this page with the brown, this page with nothing on the back, and then I threw in some marble. That's a big piece. But I threw in these little bit smaller ones that you could cut out and glue to the back of the cover if you wanted. But the main thing would be using probably that one. And for book pages for these little books, I'm including 10 sheets, 10 folios of rag paper from the 1800s. There's 10 of these like this, and this is a wonderful, thick rag paper. If you've not ever felt rag paper or used it, this would give you a wonderful opportunity just to see what it's about. All of the little books are 1 1/4 inches high. So what I did was put this in my paper cutter and go 1 1/4, 1 1/4, 1 1/4, and I didn't tear the pages apart. I left them long. Because what you do is then, let me get one of my examples of, then what you do is that you fold the paper back and forth, back and forth. So you start with a long piece. Let me get one that's, these are all smaller. Here's one. And then I also included a piece of chipboard, and this is how you fold them. So this is once you've cut the 1 1/4, then you line it up here to this height. And the best way to do it is like this. Yeah. And then press on this side of the chipboard, not all the way around. Then turn it over. Oh, I haven't done this for a minute. Let's see, that folds up. Yeah. Then you do this and fold again. And then you flip it over and keep folding. And that is the width that will cover the widest one. Now, some of these, I've got my book pages fell out of this cutie, but here's the little book with the brown marble on the inside. And you score where the spine of the book is, and you determine how many of these little zigzaggy things that you need for the right thickness. So you'd probably need a couple of them. And that's the other thing that's nice, not tearing these apart. You have a lot longer length. And then the height should be correct. You use hot glue and glue these pages to the spine of the book. Then, because the front and back covers are all different widths, once you have this glued in, then you just take your scissors and trim it, to the size of the book cover. Here's one. This one has gotten kind of banged around. Here's this little red one. Do I have him glued in? No. My The ones that I made that I glued in have disappeared. So there's that one. So this would let you make a lot of little books. It will give you an opportunity to have some really nice rag paper. This is some of the best. It's really thick. Fascinating. Yeah, I know. So, like, he uses a lot of them in his, the little trinket display things he makes. And I don't know, I just thought these could be a fun addition to our junk journals. Because I'm thinking that you could, once this is glued in, you could punch a hole and maybe even have it as a dangle, off a junk journal. Or if you have showing you it off the camera, or if you have a pocket that, is a little bit like, say, bulkier lace or something, these could slip in there. And you open it up and you have French words. Ta da! All right, I'll start this, see if anyone would like to try that. But the main thing is, if you're interested, to look at that video where Tim and the gal from Simon Says Stamps makes the little books, because they do a good job of explaining. You are very welcome. So yeah, I kind of went on a tiny binge with the little envelopes and now the little books, and had fun with it. Well, I don't know if any of you will like this, but I actually branched out and created a few digitals myself. What I saw on Etsy was where they put lace on some of their images. And yes, that is how we learn new things, isn't it? And I just thought that was gorgeous. And so I thought, then then I was at a show, and a gal showed a piece of paper where they had made this paper looked something like this, where they had just taken a bunch of French checks, and here's an invoice and ledger, and just kind of, hi, hi, welcome in. And so I gave it a whirl, and I have um, Italian Florentine paper. So I thought, well, I'll put that in there too. I have cabinet cards. So I put this cute little baby on one. This is one of the book covers. And then I made this one with the checks. And then I put that piece of paper on my scanner with a piece of lace, because I could not figure out how to remove the background of lace in Photoshop. And believe me, I tried and tried and tried. And so that was my very first set. Then I got a little more adventurous, and I made this one. Oh, that's right. These are going this direction, so that when you put them in a junk journal, you would, be able to fold them this direction. That always baffles me, why so many digitals are up and down for junk journals. And then I made this one. And this one. Now, of course, you're going to see some repeats. If you've been here the whole time, you've seen, the envelopes and some of the checks. They're repeats because these are the ones that I own. Then I actually found a digital where the lace background was removed because I definitely wanted us to be able to see through the lace. So, anyway, this is probably my favorite one. The blues and the browns. Oh my gosh. I'll run it in case any of you want to play with my new digitals. I can't decide if I'm going to continue or not. But I thought, well, if I like them, maybe somebody else will. And we're going to start it now. So this is for the six that are going horizontal. Yeah, when I saw that piece of paper in that show where they just used primarily checks, well, of course, right now I'm addicted to checks. Oh, thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, thank you. I'll run it one more time in case someone else might be interested. Hello! Look at you sending me a raid. Thank you, thank you. Did you have a good party? The party show? That tells my age. Because back in the day, we had parties at home. Oh my gosh. You have got to follow Paper. Good. She is adorable and has wonderful stuff. All right, so, ooh. See, I bought stuff to do gel plate printing and never did it. I don't, I haven't taken the step to get brave to try it. I'm looking up in my wall of crap. I may have sold it when I destashed. It's that soft rubbery thing, right? Yeah. I don't see it where it was for a long time. It may have gotten destashed. I got to get Rhonda's name on these digitals before I forget. I just bought, well, in the last couple of weeks, beautiful little papers from her. I, I bought, I definitely bought my fair share. I don't know. Do you still have some of those? I know. I probably shouldn't have gotten rid of them. You do? Oh, of the little papers or the gel plates? Look at this. Look at that. That's just one of a stack. And then have another stack. I had so much fun. What is that going to be? 3 weeks tomorrow? Saturday, maybe, that I bought them? Okay. I just think they're fun to use. We can use them as little snippets and pockets and all kinds of fun things. I can't remember what the paper's called. Uh, and the other cool thing, guys? She lives in Greenfield, Massachusetts, which is where my dad was born and raised, and he's 87. She bought from me, and I saw Greenfield, Massachusetts come up, and I about flipped out. Pam and I just send paper back and forth. Yes. Are you really, Dewey? Ah, Greenfield is so near and dear to my heart. Okay. But I have aunts and uncles in Vermont, New Hampshire. Of course, those states are so tiny. It's like a hop and a skip to get to one. But as a kid, we drove from Kansas to Greenfield in the summer. In our brown paneled station wagon. That gives away my age. Okay, Rhonda, you said that you liked the lace and stuff. I want to do more of that. I just think this looks cool. But I don't know if it's just me. But I want to make some. I, sorry guys, I have been playing around with making my own little digitals here. And this is a pack that's more up and down. This is the same page, and then I put a piece of lace. I actually put the paper and the lace on my scanner and scanned it. But I just think it looks so fun. This was my first set, so it's not as complex. But I just played around. I've had to learn, not had to, but I've learned. Oh, since I've been on Whatnot. I'll run this one in just a second. And then my second set is this one. And I did them horizontal. Have ya? And I did them horizontal because I'm like, why do we want them up and down in a journal that goes like this, like in a junk journal? So I did this, and I think this is my favorite because it has a lot of blues and browns in it. Is that? Oh, this one. Oh, I must have really liked blues and browns that day I was working on these. But I was telling him before you guys came in, I saw a piece of paper, and she couldn't remember what company, but oh, 200 pieces of antique sheet music. Oh my gosh. Same here, Rhonda. So I want to put lace on some of these too. So this is an image I found that I could actually use, without the background that I put on top. This one I scanned. This is my lace that I scanned and put on there. But I found this. I want to go with a little more creamy. But anyway, that was my first stab at playing around. Antique sheet music with beautiful covers. Oh, wow. Do you sell on Whatnot? Oh, I bet. I'm going to run. I've got this one up. You can gel plate print lace too? Huh? You can gel plate print. Oh my gosh. Ooh. What, do you know how damn hard it is to find a digital of lace without the background? So that you can see all that beautiful netting and you can see what's underneath it. I've about blew my brains out mentally trying to find where in the hell there has to be lace that is, that doesn't have a background. Anyway, I couldn't find it, but I did finally find one little bit. Okay, so I'm going to run this one in case anyone's interested, and then I'll run that other one. Thank you. So we're on. I'm going to figure out how to do some more. Um, there must be somewhere. I know you can find it with a background, and so I thought, well, it'd be somewhat easy to scan a piece of lace, my own, and then remove the background. That doesn't work either. You can't you can't get that beautiful detail, and keep the netting, or at least I couldn't. And I'm definitely not an expert, but I did a lot of research trying to figure it out. He hates when I run stuff in that category. Yeah. Okay, I'll run this other one. So that would be right here, and it's a good one. Yeah, Dewey Fines, because you're here on Whatnot, right? Well, you just said you did. My hubby is Dewey. I love paper and ephemera. Okay. Well, it's so nice to meet you. Well, all right. I think I'm about to wind down. Rhonda has been a trooper and been with me most of the evening. Now, I will say, if you guys look in my shop and you see anything you want me to show you, I would be more than happy to. I, let's see, I have stuff in my bin. Oh, thank you. I get so many compliments on that. That is a Tim Holtz fabric. It is called Cabinet Card. Isn't that right? Rhonda, were you in here when we were looking at it? It's the Eclectic Elements, I think is what his fabric is called. Eclectic Elements photo card, yeah. Oh, I am too, Rhonda. She's had a lot of fun looking at my stuff. Well, I showed him this. I bought this is also Tim Holtz fabric, and I used that um, for my backdrop during December. And I think that's beautiful. Wouldn't that? I'm just sitting here thinking, I think that would make a beautiful cover of a junk journal, wouldn't it? This is the extra that I have. But see, I also love red. So I get drawn to red pretty easily. Red and blue. Oh, I can't thank you enough, Paper, for sending your crew over. She told me last week she likes when I call her Paper. It took me forever to remember her name and that she's the one that was from the same city my dad was born and raised. He went in the military and was at Fort Leavenworth for the Army. And that's where he met my mom in Kansas City, and they've never lived in Kansas City, but we lived in Topeka. I know this has been fun. Oh, I know. I love Tim Holtz stuff. I sold a bunch of his sprays, re-inkers, a few ink pads. Maybe it was a week ago today. I sold every freaking piece. Well, part of it is because I sold it for half off of retail, but that's okay. It got it out of my craft room. Just hopped on, but enjoyed meeting you tonight. You too. Yes, you did. Has the post office been running even slower lately? It My packages, I mean, I swear to God, they're at a snail's pace right now. I'm so glad you dropped in, Dewey. Welcome in, Kim. We're kind of wrapping things up, but if you guys, if y'all see anything you in the shop you'd like to see, let me know before I sign off. I'm in my first raid train tomorrow morning. I'm kind of excited. And then I found more connections in the last few days for junk journal type raid chains because what I primarily sell is French. I have authentic French papers, paper stuff like checks and invoices and documents and all that. And then I've started scanning it so that it's more affordable for us to be able to have it in our junk journals and still have the beauty of the paper. And so I thought, I need to get into the junk journal part of the whatnot. And I finally, with a friend's help, Paper Swan, in case any of you know her, I kind of got directed on how to find some raid trains that have to do more with scrapbooks. Oh, perfect. Perfect, perfect. Thank you. And so I've signed up for 3 or 4. Yes. Where do you live, Rhonda? What state? Are you the one that told me the ice? Alabama, yeah. I'm in Northeast Kansas, and at noon today when I watched the weather, we were supposed to be in the negative wind chills by morning, and then later, late afternoon or early evening, the snow was supposed to start and snow through Sunday, it sounds like. We Earlier in the week we weren't going to get any snow, and now they're saying 4 to 8 inches. We had that really, really, really fluke snowstorm a year ago, the beginning of January. And I swear to God, we got like 18 inches of snow. I've lived in Kansas all my life, and that has never happened before. It shut down. I live in a town of 5,000. It's a small town. I mean, it literally shut things down. And Manhattan, Kansas is only 13 miles west of me, and they were pretty much shut down, and they're a much bigger city. I'm just rambling, guys. I like talking to you guys and meeting you guys. And I was excited to share I'm now going to get in some raid trains. This is my happy place. I retired 6 years ago and I've always crafted, and man, it's just exploded. And then I found Whatnot, and there you go. All right, guys, let's see who we can raid into. I know the name Penguin Boss. Well, let's try her. Thank you so much, everyone. And I can't wait to see you next time. Good night, and be careful with the storms coming in.